Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Hollywood After Dark, episode number 85. Tonight we're going to be talking about Shang-CHI, kicking some serious ass. Of course, Last of Us Day, TUDUM, I don't know, whatever the hell it was called, and I don't know, whatever the hell else is going to go on tonight. But you're here, I'm here, let's get into it, and where's that button? Oh yeah, here we go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. Hope you all had yourself a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It is Sunday, September 26, 2021, and I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit ticked. I'm a little bit ticked off for not the reason why you might be thinking. Halo Infinite had a beta this weekend, but they did something really weird with it, right? They only allowed you to play it in 2 8-hour chunks. Two 4-hour chunks every day from 10 until 2 p.m. or from 5 until 9 p.m. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm a night owl. All right. I'm a night owl. I want to play Halo at 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to teabag noobs at 2 o'clock in the morning, not 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't run on this kind of thing. It is so dumb. I have a feeling that this next weekend when they do another beta, it's going to be open all the time. But gotta say, spent a fair amount of time with Halo over the weekend. Played a lot of bot mode during their off hours. And I gotta say, I love it. Halo Infinite, fantastic. Utterly amazing. Super kick-ass. But before we get into everything else tonight, I do want to give a shout out to the channel members. You guys are the ones keeping this channel alive. Thank you all so much for your continued support. And to everyone else who also throws down a super chat over the course of the day, I appreciate you. Also, just want to let you guys know that this month we are going to be giving away Drunken Master 2. And that's on Blu-ray. That will be available in just a couple days. I'll be picking a winner on that one. So if you want to get in on that, finally become a member, drop a super chat. Best way to do it. And again, I hope everyone had a very, very, very good weekend. Remember also to leave a like because Miss Minutes demands it. She'll cap a bitch. And I did send out the link to some of my usual guests tonight. However, I do not know if they will be coming in, so it might just be me. We'll have to see what happens with that one. I do have to have a hard out tonight very early. Well, not maybe like 11:30, simply because my daughter starts school in the morning and I have to be up very early. H-Bart's here. It says Halo Infinite gonna suck. Halo 5 was a disaster. I agree with you. Halo 5 was a disaster. Halo Infinite is not Halo 5. Is not Halo 5 at all. So don't even trip, buddy. Don't even trip on that one. Mr. Dr. PhD here says, Jarbo, your golden voice is like ASMR to my sleepy ears. You know what's funny about that? Is I've had many people tell me, like, your voice puts me to sleep. And I'm like, okay. Like, how do you fucking take that? Now, granted, they don't mean it in a mean way, right? They're not coming at me in a mean way. They're not trying to make me feel bad in a mean way. They're just saying that as a compliment. Like, I really find your voice relaxing. Maybe I should learn how to speak like an NPR person. I should be all like, this is the top of the hour. And tonight, on Hollywood After Dark, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Day. Of course, the news and information that has come out of Naughty Dog today was things fans are looking forward to. And of course, we're going to break it all down for you here over the course of the next hour. Remember, this is brought to you by PBS, Punk Bitch Systems. And if you want to donate to PBS and therefore continue this episode of Hollywood After Dark, please consider dropping a super chat. Thank you all. I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? That's what a lot of it is. Shiny here says, I sleep listening to this show. Man, that's crazy. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Anyway, Andrew here with $5 kicking off the week, Andrew. First super chat of the week, buddy. Thank you. Says, are we going to be watching The Verdict 1982 trailer with Paul Newman because it's super cool and it's better than almost all modern trailers? Remind me before the end tonight, and we'll see if we can add it in. I don't want to watch trailers every day. I mean, like, I would love to be honest with you, but YouTube is so oppressive on that front right now. With the algorithm is like, if they detect copyrighted material, they'll straight shut down the damn live stream. They've done it before. So it's like, and there's no real warning. They don't send you a message. They don't give you like, it just says it in the live control room, but it doesn't give you any real information. So unfortunately, that's kind of an iffy one. It's like I told Command Unit when it comes to the Warhammer stuff, I appreciate his desire to want to share that and everything, but I got to push it towards the end of the week just because it's like, not everybody wants Warhammer. That's another factor, but it's just to try to like keep it from being entirely just taken out back and beaten with the hose. That's kind of where we are. Yeah, Jess here says YouTube sends you to the Shadow Realm. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Yeah, they've shut down Matt instantly. They have. It's sad. H Barts here says they were going to make it like a Ubisoft title before the backlash. Well, then that's fine. I like Ubisoft, but I get what you mean. No, but I'm telling you, dude, Halo Infinite is primo. Simon here, but $2, man. Thank you. Says, to be honest, the Comics Explained guy puts me to sleep. I watch those videos occasionally, like when I want to catch up on something, when I want to catch up on a particular like run before the movie comes out. Like I just like because I'm not going to go back and actually read the comics, so I'll go have somebody else like just fill me in. So you have that. Have I seen the new James Wan movie, Malignant? I haven't. I know it's leaving HBO Max here in a few weeks. I need to check it out. With my eldest daughter going to school, that frees up a couple hours in the morning. With my youngest kid, she's only 2, so I can get away with like a few more things, like like stuff with like naughty language, I guess, because she can't speak yet. But I don't want to sit there and like with my 2-year-old on my lap and like, hey kiddo, you want to watch Malignant? Who wants to watch a horror movie with daddy? Who wants to watch a horror movie with I don't think that would work out very well. I don't think that would work out very well at all. It might end up having me be killed by my girlfriend. And is that there? Hold on here. Andrew says, I bet DeJarbo reading lists of succession to English titles of nobility. I don't know what that is. I mean, I guess I could potentially say that, like, yes, here today, we are going to be looking at the list of succession to English titles of nobility. You have Pippi Longstocking coming in at the number 4th to the throne. She's going to be usurped eventually by her cousin. Yes, Elder Longberry. He is a kind of person who you do not want to cheat in polo with, because he will take you out back and beat you to death. I don't know. Andrew here says, $2, man, thank you. For sleep, watching old episodes of Firing Line. I don't know what that is. See, I don't do any of that. I listen to I have a white noise machine, but I also have the Rainy Mood app on my phone. If you haven't gone to rainymood.com and just listen to that, I love that. Especially if you pair it with some techno or some maybe some lower energy trance or whatever. It's got a good vibe to it. Kind of puts you in a nice mood, a nice little thing there. Rainbow here says, I watch ASMR videos. I have so much trouble with those. It's not that I don't like the content. I mean, I don't engage with it in any particular way. And I've gone over to my Amaranth is a key ASMR person. And it's you click on her Twitch page and she's just there in a bikini and sucking on an ear, and I'm like, how is this even remotely a thing? I don't get it personally, but that of course is simply, just me. I don't know. Oh, by the way, real quick here, I'll tell you guys what I do know. All right. So, over the other day we were talking about DC fandom, I think a little bit, and I went looking on the website and I came across, some of their store, and I want you guys to see how shitty things are at DC fandom this year. Look at this. This is a shirt. This is a long sleeve tee. They're selling for $30. It is literally just a screen print of Batman Returns of the poster. That's it. That's what they've got. They've also got this one here where it's a Batman Returns silhouette long sleeve tee. Again, $30. And this is meant to be a PNG, I believe, but the way they put it on there is just completely god awful. And oh my God. Then they've got this one here of Polka Dot Man. Again, it's just a poster from the movie. $30. That's that. However, this one is a better looking PNG that I don't think is terrible. But but look here at the bottom right, you see there's that little trademark, that little copyright info right there. That to me is terrible. It doesn't need to be there. But that is what they've been that's what they've been hawking on their website. I'm sure they'll update it before DC fandom here in a couple weeks. But still, it's why in God's name is this what you guys are selling. I just don't I just don't personally get it, but of course, I'm also kind of a moron. So maybe I don't get business. Maybe I don't get what's going on with that. Maybe they're doing something a little bit on the they're doing something a little bit they're trying. What can I say? Maybe that's what they're up to here. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with that stuff. I did want to, let me bring up some images here. Let me just bring up these. I forgot to save them before we got going. Okay. Oh, we got some more super chats I missed out on. All right. Mr. Dr. PhD with $5, man. Thank you so much. Says the easiest way to knock someone out is to throw on Campia. I mean, if it's a heated topic, Campia can get going pretty good. But he just comes across like a Mr. Rogers type guy. Like, hi, everyone. My name is John Campia. I can't do it. But no, look, I don't hate John Campia or nothing like that. I mean, I respect his hustle. And honestly, I'll probably have to resort to like the same tactic of clipping out the news bits and putting those up. But I'll tell you this though, guys, where I've kind of been recently, where my head's been recently is wanting more conversation, like actual, like in-depth conversation, not with like necessarily other YouTubers or people that work in the industry, but just like people who like a movie and want to talk about a movie like that. That to me is always a lot of fun because you get kind of hyped up. One of the bigger problems that I've seen is just like, I don't want to be copy and paste like everybody else, And I kind of had that the other day. I was when I was trying to think of like how I wanted to do a podio commentary on Suicide Squad, which is up over there, youtube.com/podio commentary. And again, it's just me kind of riffing on it. There's no images or whatever. It's just it's just me kind of talking into the microphone, but I like it quite a bit. And that's kind of why I do things like that, because that's where I put my brain power. Let's see. Gailey Productions here with $5 says that Ditko lawsuit will get settled quickly. Chill, MCU fans. Look, everyone's been going off about that Ditko suit. I talked about it the other day. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. I don't know, Marvel is going to look, they're suing them. They clearly have more money than the estate of Ditko, and they can make it work. They can drag it out for a long time, like in perpetuity sort of thing, indefinitely. They can drag that shit out. This is Disney we're talking about here. Warner Brothers absolutely would bend over backwards if it made the problem go away. This is the House of Mouse. They might just say, pound sand. We dropped $4.08 billion, it's $4 billion for these characters back in 2010. We own them. They're ours. Get wrecked. They could do that. Now, will they settle to make it all go away so it doesn't look negatively against them leading up to the release of Spider-Man No Way Home? Sure, maybe. But also they might just say, fuck it, and no one's going to care. No one is not going to go see these movies. No one is not going to sit there and go, well, you know what? Steve Ditko got fucked over. Never mind, he's been dead for a number of years. I'm just going to go, I'm boycotting Marvel. Like, no, that's not the case. It's not going to fucking happen. This is not going to fucking happen. No one's going to boycott Marvel over this. So, I'm sure they're going to settle it. It's the easiest option, but they might say, screw it. Chapek might say, fuck it. I mean, look at how he treated Scarlett Johansson when she just wanted a piece of the pie. He ignored her to the point of where they sued him. He might just go, yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. Ike Perlmutter's still in charge of Marvel. He's still in charge of the Marvel, the company. Ike Perlmutter might just say, fuck him. He's a Trump-loving Republican. He might just say, fuck him. I don't fucking know these people. I don't owe him shit. He might just say that shit. We don't know what's going to happen with this. It's obviously that the parent company is going to have more of a say in this. Their lawyers are going to come on in and do what they're going to do. But make no fucking mistake. If they want this shit to drag out, like literally until the end of time, they have the financial capital to do it. And they can run it past 2023 when there needs to be a judgment made on this sort of thing. It ain't going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going to go anywhere with the characters, but also don't act like it's going to be it's not like, it may not be doom and gloom, but it may not be over as quickly as you're trying to paint it out, man. Anyway, Brian here, when talking about Amaranth, 12,000 people watching her lick the mic right now. Yeah, I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong goddamn business, my friend. Bite Me here says, I'm boycotting Disney. They are crap. Nah. Carlos here says the Disney will bend the knee and pay. No, they won't bend the knee and pay. I don't think they're going to bend the knee and pay. Like, they're going to fight this. They're going to fight this until they have no other choice. But they still get a lot of crap. They still have a lot of stuff here. You sound like Grace when you was doing Campia. Oh, do I still have that on here?
Well, what do you know?
I still have that drop. Just because it bothers people at this point, I have the drop. Josh, we're going to be talking about TUDUM, a little bit of that. The Shang-Chi doing well. And, of course, I've got The Last of Us. I want to talk about that one. And what else do I have up here? Oh, yeah, there's that Spider-Man fucking thing that happened on Friday. Of course, I wasn't streaming on Friday, so I missed it, but still, that's what we're going to be talking about here. Let's see here. Bite Me says, watch Visions, only really like 2-3 episodes. Yeah, it's anime, dude. It's like, it's not for everyone. I actually really enjoyed what I've seen of it so far. Everyone's freaking out over that like lightsaber umbrella thing. I thought it was dope as fuck in the duel. So there's that. Rainbow here says, Disney is going to win. Yeah, I agree. Music Man here says they should make the deal the same way they did with Sony, and please no more Grace. Her voice is fucking awful. Well, I can't promise that, Music Man. I can't promise that. Carlos here says, weeb talk, please. No, I'm not doing the weeb talk shit. All right. But if people here want to do weeb talk, give me a good reason to want to drop the call-in line, 323-305-4101. There were a couple voicemails I think that came in over the weekend I can get to. So 323-305-4101 if you guys want to get in on that and leave a message for tonight. Again, we'll probably be bailing out in about the 11:30 mark so I can get to bed at a decent time. So, all right, why don't we talk about the first story of the night? Why don't we get into it right now? Again, I see RJ in the chat. RJ, I sent you a link, so I don't want to hear crap about you not coming on. If you're in the chat, you can come into chat. But we can talk about today being The Last of Us Day. Now, I know this is Hollywood After Dark, but look, I like video games. You know, I like talking about this stuff. I think it's entertainment. It's good shit. Now, The Last of Us is a franchise that I personally I love. I love The Last of Us 1. I love The Last of Us Part 2. I think the games are great. I like the story. I like the writing, even if I disagree with the politics of its creator, Neil Druckmann. That being said, today was a day I was hoping we were going to get a little bit of information about the show. And we did, actually. We got a little bit of information here, and that is this image right here that has a lot of people really going, wait, is this from the show or is this a cutscene from the game? Because the over-the-shoulder shot we've seen multiple times with the characters, especially towards the end of the first game when they make it to Denver and they see that the giraffes are walking around. But here we see a plane crash. Obviously, that is CG. That's in the distance. But the image itself is very nice. It's very clean. It's very crisp. And that is Pedro Pascal as Joel. And I forget the name of the actress who is playing Ellie, but I know that she was very awesome in Game of Thrones. And so this is they're shooting it right now. I mean, this is going to be a thing that's going to do pretty well, I think. And a lot of people are really excited for this thing. And Bite Me here says, please, The Last of Us Days. Oh, the Last of Us Days, Daisy. Yeah, why not? Why not? I think, no, there's definitely a lot of goodwill with the game. Now, they did give an update here on their website. They said it was a community post. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button and it booted me out. I've been like double clicking everything today, so don't mind me. Okay. All right. And yeah, I'm still here. So, no, yeah, I know. I'm back. It's okay. I hit the wrong button. All right, real quick here. The AMBW channel. I will make Jarbo the musical for you, Matt. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Don't worry, Taylor. We're not going to be giving away spoilers, but go play the fucking game. All right. That's my point on that one there. All right. So this is what they said. Celebrating The Last of Us Day 2021. When the team sat down to discuss what we will be doing for The Last of Us Day this year, the thoughts were immediately along the lines of, it's been a year already. After the initial shock, the immediate want was to sit down and address you, our community, directly. Years ago, the love and diversity, ooh, that's going to get hit. The love and diversity The Last of Us showcase caught my attention as a fan and reshaped the lens with which I viewed gaming. For the first time, I could see myself reflected in characters that weren't tokenized, marginalized, or tossed in as an afterthought. Oh my God. Anyway, as Joel and Ellie's story unfolded, there were tears on my end. Yes, the narrative is gorgeous and heart-wrenching, but there's also something deeply moving and validating about finally seeing meaningful representation in this. Oh my God. Look, we get it. Oh my God. I'm not against representation, but like when you start beating me over the head with it. All right. I'm going to skip ahead with this one here. You know what? Because I don't care about that. I know. Maybe I'm a dick, but I just, hold on. RJ, do you care about that statement right there? Like, do you think this is beating it on the head?
I mean, it's him, I don't know. The statement's whatever to me. I don't care.
No, it's not. That wasn't Neil Druckmann. That was Rochelle, whoever the hell Rochelle is.
Rochelle.
I think probably the community manager. Yeah, I know. But this is all, and this is what I agree with the most here. Yeah, that's all lovely and great, Naughty Dog, but what are you doing with The Last of Us right now? They're working on it. We see the community comments as many of you clamor for multiplayer and want updates. For now, we'll say that we love what the team is developing and want to give them the time to build out their ambitious project. We'll reveal more when it's ready. To that end, we've been busy growing our team inside the kennel since The Last of Us Part 2 launched, and are currently in full swing of hiring for multiplayer related positions. Hint, hint. So if you or someone you know qualifies for anything, check out the jobs page.
So it's been a year and they're still not even done hiring. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, what were they working on for the year? That's my question.
They're probably taking a break. You remember there was a crunch allegation.
Oh yeah. That was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty bad. AG here says, Arzino here says, RJ on yet another stream. Shake my head. I invited him.
Well, you kind of were like, get on the damn stream, RJ. I don't want to.
Well, I invited him and then I badgered him. There's a difference there. All right. There's a difference there. So deal with it, buddy. Anyway. No, I mean, look, I just like it's, I get there was a crunch stuff and you know what, also, this is going to sound like it's entirely possible that the leak that caused everyone to lose as much shit as they lost last year might have actually really emotionally and mentally hurt some people.
No, totally. I mean, imagine you working on this for like what, 5+ years. It leaks and everyone sends you death threats and everyone tells you you're horrible and all this and that, and like it just makes the whole release of the game really not fun the way you thought it was going to be. You know? Yeah,
because everyone is looking for as a way to shit on it, and considering the fact that the quartering and those guys have all openly talked about how The Last of Us Part 2 really, that controversy built up their channels. That was a really big deal for them that they were able to shit on.
Yeah, quartering was like, we're waiting for that next Last of Us 2 moment. We need that big moment again that can rally everyone to us.
Yeah, it's like, well, you said the quiet part out loud, but that angers me because here's the thing is, I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't finished The Last of Us Part 2. I'm like well into the game and I enjoy the game, but what happened was I got the Ghost of Tsushima and I fucking love the.
It's a much better game though.
It is a much better game. Well, I should say like narrative. Well, no, actually, I'd say gameplay narrative wise, yeah, the narrative on Ghosts is insanely good. And I love the narrative on The Last of Us Part 2, but it's such a depressing game.
Well, it's depressing, and I told you this, it's way too long. That game should have been cut by like 6 hours or so. It drags on way too much. The pacing is much weaker, and it makes it hard to replay, and it just makes it hard to like get through.
Yeah, and that's Druckmann honestly up his own ass. To be fair, and I love the guy as a writer. I really do. I love the guy as a writer. I like his world building, but you can tell he was high on his own farts on that game.
A little bit, yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm good taking a break from this world for a while,
Yeah, well, we got the show coming. And the show, I think, I'm excited for the show. The guy behind Chernobyl is show running it, and that was an insane show.
Yeah, I mean, it has some potential. It's just I don't know.
Well, and here's the thing, Druckmann. Like I think we talked about this the other night. Druckmann is directing, I think, an episode or two.
I think he's directing 2.
And that's what I really want to see. I really want to see how that's going to play out for him. Because, again, it's like, I think he's got a talent. Whether or not you agree with this politics is entirely your thing. But I think there's a talent there, and I'd like to see art explored, you know? So if it ends up being good, it ends up being good. But I mean, what'd you think of the image?
That's certainly Joel and Ellie. I mean, I like the plane in the background. That was a cool touch. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'll say that much. I really, really want to see what they do with this. I'm not like counting the days till it comes out. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. But it's like, I'll watch it. I'll check it out.
I'm not counting the days because I've learned as an adult, you can't really count the days anymore.
Sure,
like you just can't. Like right now it's September 26th. December 17th is when fucking Spider-Man and apparently Boba Fett come out on the same day. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Apparently that's something I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna drop. Like I mean, there's no Star Wars movie to compete with. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no Star Wars film to compete with, so I have no idea if that's going to happen or not.
Release both the same day.
But I mean, they might do Boba Fett and Hawkeye, like the finale of Hawkeye, and then Boba Fett on the same day. That would be interesting. That would break some servers. I think that would be pretty wild.
Yeah,
but
totally.
But I think when it comes to but when it comes to this show, like I really love the world of The Last of Us. Like I just really enjoyed everything that they've done with it. I really enjoyed replaying that game. Because I've replayed the first game. I can't even tell you how many times I've replayed it. I don't replay many games.
Yeah, I've replayed at least like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I even went through it on the fucking hardest difficulty on what was it?
I think it was Survivor.
It wasn't Survivor. It was like something past Survivor. It was like it started with
Survivor?
a B. It started with a B, like bound mode, or I forget what it's called. But like I went through it on that, and that's hard. But it's a fun game to go through and just kind of experience over and over again. And the pacing was a lot better. And yeah, you're right. The pacing on the second one, it's like, because what it is they did the same thing with Uncharted 4, is they focused too much on the dialogue. And it's like, yeah, no, dialogue is cool, but you fucking Kojima, you're not, right? Like we don't need, like Metal Gear Solid had so many goddamn fucking cutscenes.
Well, also way too much, what I would call like I said, just too much segments. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, here's a question from Rational Skeptic. How big would the backlash be if the show doesn't have Abby? Well, I mean, like obviously
in the first season,
she wouldn't be in the first season.
Well, no, she would be. She would be, because if they do.
Oh, right. I know, and I do. Even though I didn't finish the game, I do know that spoiler, but I'm not going to repeat it.
Yeah, because
there are people in the chat who've already said they haven't played the game, so I don't want to spoil it. But yes, I understand. Was that really a spoiler? Because that was even talked about before the game came out.
It's kind of a spoiler.
It's still kind of spoilery. Yeah. I'm not gonna break that. But the way I look at
it, it'll just be a cameo.
Yeah, it's a cameo. But yeah, they could do that. They could do that, and then have it pick up down the road.
Who the hell are they gonna cast though? Is my question.
I don't know.
Please cast Brie Larson. I would love that so much.
Brie Larson is like, okay, for one, yes, if they cast Brie Larson as Abby, that would break the internet. But it's like that would break parts of the internet, because those dudes would be breaking their dicks. They would just.
It would be amazing.
They would not know what to do. They would not know what to do. But I mean, like, given the masculinity trait of Abby, that's going to be kind of a hard role to fill, I think. And because I honestly thought like Abby was trans at first, to be honest with
everybody did, because like, oh, it's a muscular woman, she must be trans.
And it's like, but because then again, like that's kind of what we had been exposed to, I think, like maybe in the mainstream at that point. In some aspects of it, I should say. I don't want to overdo it, but it's like, but then later on, I'm like, oh, no. Okay. Like, okay. Once you get the context of it, like it's a little bit different. But anyway, I think the show is going to be, Ray here says Brie is shredded. She posts
she's been
a lot
working
of this,
out a lot.
Yeah, she's been posting lots of those videos and stuff. I think, again, like I'm excited for it because it's one of my favorite video game properties. And I'll tell you this. So at Comic-Con 2014, I was in Hall H when they brought up the Screen Gems panel. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't read ahead about what was going to be there. So I'm sitting in Hall H talking to my friends. All of a sudden, the lights go down and the trailer comes up for The Last of Us remastered on the PS4, which was coming out the following week. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, all right, yeah, like I already plan on going to buy it, but okay, cool. It's cool to see it in this environment. Mm-hmm. And then the panel was the Last of Us movie, and Sam Raimi and Neil Druckmann were there talking about
that's right, I remember that.
Yeah, Raimi was going to produce the Last of Us movie, and then Druckmann was going to write it, and that was kind of the whole point. Now, I have to say, as bummed as I am that movie never came out, because everyone was like, Maisie Williams is Ellie. And Maisie Williams was at Comic-Con that year for a Game of Thrones panel, like in Hall H, I think later on that day. So there's a lot of wild speculation around that area at the time that, Maisie Williams could be Ellie. Obviously at this point, she has now since aged out of that role. But, Lady Marmont is of the right age and has done it, and I loved her on Game of Thrones. So I was like really excited for that. And then, but then I thought about it too. I'm like, man, this game would be very difficult to adapt into a movie because it's got so much story and so much world building. It
spans
so much
across like so much time.
Yeah. Like they'd have to skip like number 2 could probably be a movie because it's like one location. It's like Colorado, Seattle. That's it. Well, okay. And there's other, but I don't want to say what that is. So maybe like 3 locations really, but they could make that work a lot better rather than like starting off in Boston and then traveling all the way across the country to Colorado.
Right.
I mean, they could still make it work, but there's a lot there. And like, how would they integrate the whole David situation? Like, would that be like,
that's the emotional crux of the entire game. Really.
Yeah. And is that going to be oh my God, who's going to play David in the show?
Jared Leto.
No, fuck that. You know who I want to play David in the show? And this is a bold choice, but I think you might agree with me. I want Nolan North to play David in the show.
Oh yeah.
Because he voiced him in the game. And the lady they got who voiced Marlena in the game is playing Marlena in the show. And then so I mean, yeah. Like I'm down for that. I'm down for whatever the hell's going to happen on that one. So I'm really excited to see like what they're going to do with it, obviously, but it's, that's just my take on it. Anyway, we can move on from there. I just wanted to touch upon that for a few. And then, hold on, there is a super chat here I want to get from Jess saying, why Weeb Talk? Anime is hilarious, over the top action sequences, great anime character tropes, and great animation. Is it though? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff in anime.
Yeah. Okay, Yvonne here says The Last of Us difficulty, easy, grounded, hard, normal, and survival. No, I think grounded is the one I was playing, but that was also like the hardest one too. That was harder than survival, I believe. So yeah. H Barts here says Brie Larson on Jimmy Kimmel. Oh man. When those images came out, like of her hosting that show, like that, I know that broke some brains. I know that you saw that image, right? Of Brie Larson hosting Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I don't
the low cut black dress.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, now I have to show you.
Oh no.
Well, no. This is like, okay. I want you to imagine. Okay, you know how the fandom menace is when it comes to going after Brie Larson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like they attack her for everything. Like she has the audacity, the simple fucking audacity to be a woman existing, right? That's what they were. They get really upset about that. They don't. They don't like that at all. So then all of a sudden, she pops up on Jimmy Kimmel as hosting it over a while back. And this is the dress she's wearing.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah, right. So all of a sudden, that started circulating around, and a whole bunch of dudes who had spent a long time criticizing and attacking Brie Larson had absolutely positively lost their shit. Over that. And that to me is hysterical, because it goes to show you that, they don't know what to do. and they are absolutely like, I think they're petrified of strong women because they couldn't really criticize. No, I think they tried to criticize that, but there's really not much you're going to be able to do to criticize that particular.
What could they criticize it for?
Probably like, oh, she's trying too hard, or it's not TradCon, it's not traditional enough, that kind of crap you would normally get. You get that occasionally from people, right? Like
I don't know, people are weird.
People they do get kind of mad, yeah. They do. People get kind of a little bit on the side when you're like, really? Okay, right? Like, come on, guys. What the hell's wrong with you? People decide to get upset. That's all they can do, is they just got to get upset and be mad at people. So, that's it. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to touch upon here is, and what's on the thumbnails, just to get to it early on, even though we're like a half hour into the episode, is obviously Shang-Chi, right? Shang-Chi is
that movie that flopped, right?
Yeah, the movie that's doing terrible, that clearly has been bad. No one has gone and seen it.
Nobody likes it.
Yeah, the movie that's going to end Simu Liu's career. I mean, like,
the China thing,
the China, that doesn't mean anything at this point, because they knew that Chloe Zhao is a bigger problem overall, I think, than fucking Shang-Chi is.
But her and Simu Liu kind of said the exact same thing though about China.
Yeah, you know what? Movies have done well without China, and we need to stop relying on China as much.
I agree, but Disney ain't gonna feel the same way.
Well, no, Disney's gonna they're gonna grease some fucking palms in order to make it work. But look, when you got headlines like this coming off of Bloomberg, right? Shang-Chi becomes biggest domestic box office hit in COVID era. Mm-hmm. That's something to celebrate. That is something for Disney to look at and go, it's done well. Now, this movie, if it wasn't COVID, if it had come out last year like it was supposed to, it would have hit $1 billion.
I think so too. Yeah. I think this would have made a lot of money.
Yeah. This would have come out. And I mean, well, I think it would have done $1 billion even without China, to be honest with you.
Really? Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think without China it would have hit like 700 to 800 million.
No, I think it would have hit $1 billion. I think it would have done $1 billion without it, because it's still, people still like it. People still are enjoying it. And his comments were from like many, many, many years ago. So those comments would have come out anyway. So they would have obviously gone and that would have already, the movie was never going to come out to China once he made those comments, when Feige was like, hey, your whole life is going to change. Maybe it's a thing. But anyway, what we know here is that Shang-Chi this weekend has pulled in another $13.3 million, which brings it to a total of $196.5 million total for 4 weeks, which isn't bad. And that's, again, it's 4 weeks at number one. Now, nothing else has really come close. So Dear Evan Hansen with 7.5.
Oh, that movie crashed and burned.
Oh, no. Well, no, not really. It was like 6 million, less than 6 million under the top one. That's not really crashing and burning.
I'm saying like critically it like crashed.
Well, it got an A cinema score, so audiences like it. Or got an A- cinema score.
That's strange to me, because everyone I've seen talking about this movie, seen it says terrible. It's weird.
Well, audiences, not everyone's on Twitter. That's why you can't always look at that as a metric. I'm just saying, you can't look at it like it's a metric entirely. So you got that here, but the reason why I wanted to bring up like the box office pages is because this today was being shared around. I had posted about this on Twitter, saying, "Wow, such a flop," right? And then you had people posting in this image that the Critical Drinker had said, like, doesn't the movie need to make 400 million to be?
Yeah, he was trying to say that no, it's still a flop.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even one of the guys in the chat here. What's his name? Sir something or another was like, it's still a financial failure. Like, it's been a month, dude. The fuck do you expect?
It really only needed like 300 million.
Yeah. Shang-Chi overperforms. What? Check the worldwide box office. Hasn't even broken even yet. The U.S. domestic box office totally a hollow victory. The movie is slowly failing. The fuck? No, it's not. It's not. Like, you can't, the U.S. box office it's holding in the U.S. box office. Like, it's not a hollow victory. We've been living with this now for a year and a half. Like, this weird mindset.
It's the top grossing movie of the year. Domestically.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking mindset about everything. Is it going to top Fast and Furious 9? No, that had China. All right. It's not. Free Guy went to China. Free Guy might end up pulling in more. Free Guy only pulled in 4.5 million this weekend, and that was on VOD. And people were losing their mind about that with that fucking clip that was going around. That was pretty funny. But the whole point, though, is essentially that the movie has done well. Disney's not upset at any of this because it shows you that there is going to be longevity with the character. There's going to be longevity with the franchise. So by the time they get to a second movie, by the time that comes out in a couple of years, COVID will have predominantly passed, right? Most people will be vaccinated, will be relatively back to normal. And by that point in time, there's already going to be a built-in fan base for this character that is then going to go out and do very well in the box office. So when I say it overperforms, I am not kidding. In the COVID era, it is absolutely overperformed. It has outpaced and outdone and outperformed Black Widow, even with Black Widow going
in the summer. Yeah,
open in the summer, and with the PVOD, it still did better in the long run. Again, not everything is won, in the first weekend. I know a lot of people tend to argue because remember the goalpost moving, right? Because Sir, Withered Penis, whatever his name is. He's saying, "Oh no, but but it failed. But wasn't it originally it was going to flop opening weekend, and then it was we'll wait for the second weekend numbers, and then wait for this, 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 and then wait for this."
Now they're saying that it slowed down, needs to hit 400, 500 million, then it'll work and be profitable.
Yeah. I would argue that the likelihood of this hitting 400 million worldwide is pretty high.
I would say so.
Give it a couple weeks, it will get there. And look, at the end of the day, it's like the home video release is coming out here pretty soon. It is going to be coming on November 12th to Disney Plus at no extra cost. That's coming out.
I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like they're leaving money on the table, but I understand it's a play because it's going to be on November 12th. It's going to open in Asian markets like Hong Kong, Taiwan. It's going to be available there for the first time. So,
is it actually opening in Hong Kong?
No. Disney Plus is coming to Hong Kong.
I mean, so is Shang-Chi going to be on Disney Plus in Hong Kong and Taiwan?
I think so. We'll see.
That's a bit on the subversive side, isn't it? That's a little bit of establishing a fan base, about a person who's been critical of the Chinese government.
We'll see. I mean, there's still a chance I think it gets a Chinese release date. I think it's just going to take longer than expected.
Yeah. What I find to be really funny about the response to this kind of stuff is that people are legitimately happy that this movie is not getting played in a regime in an oppressive regime. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're it's such a weird thing. I understand, maybe not wanting to give it to a mega corporation like Disney. That's fine, whatever. But it's just such a weird stance to take. It's no, the star of the movie just said LOL. He must be shunned.
Right. He's public enemy number one now. We're going to hang on every single word he does. Kind of celebrate cancel culture, even though we're supposed to be anti-cancel culture. But,
Yeah, I know.
Nothing makes sense.
Well, Buddy Love here, by the way, love the Abby. Black Widow had F9, Jungle Cruise, Free Guy, not a comparison. All right. Well, listen, and Fast 9 has done well.
Well, that's mostly because of the foreign market, though, to be fair.
Yeah, and that also shows you the thing. Hold on here. The U.S. domestic is essentially mean. No, it's not, dude. In fact, the U.S. domestic has more sway than the international markets because of the take home. The take home domestically is a lot higher. The percentage is a lot higher in favor of the studio. Internationally, it doesn't happen that way. They might make more money over there, but they pay out a lot more to to China, for example, just kind of cuts them a check. China has actually been proven, by the way, to lie about screenings, to overinflate how much money something is made. China has been caught doing that before in the past. So all the people that Disney's just purchasing tickets. No, they're not. For one, not domestically, because there's no way that can happen. Literally, there's no way that could be something that wouldn't be fucking talked about. Theaters would talk about that shit. Some random pendejo with a brand new account on Twitter showing an empty theater is not a valid fucking source. Tell me the name of the theater, the showing, the time of day, and I can call and verify myself, because I would call and I'd ask those questions. So you sitting there and you're just like, you're making up things right now. Weatherhamshire, you're making things up. You know, you can't say the U.S. domestic is essentially meaningless. Worldwide is not what matters. Like I'm like kind of like clamped on this one, because no, the worldwide, it will benefit, but it's not the core. You know, there's been movies that have done very well overseas that have not gotten sequels, you know,
or there's been movies like, you know, like some movies have not done or played at all foreignly. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the first Deadpool, for example, opened in China, right? And that did most of its business domestically. There's movies that do most of their business domestically, and they are considered successes. So
yeah, it will definitely do it. Now, okay, I will say this. Buddy Love makes a good point. He makes a good point. October as Venom 2, Bond, etc. I don't think he'll hit 400 million. You know, it might not. People want to go see a couple movies. I don't know. It will definitely with Venom, I think, opening this upcoming Friday.
Yeah, just a couple more days.
Yeah, I think that's going to be.
It might take the wind out of the sails a little bit, but PVOD numbers I think are going to be really high for Shang-Chi. So
yeah, oh, God, Josh here, Jarbo University, where the professor gives you a crash course in common sense. Oh, that's not going to go to my ego at all. Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm just saying, it's like, look, it's just a lot of people who discuss box office, or at least the industry, don't know a lot about it. And I know a fair amount, but even there's things I will admit that I don't know. But I do know that when it comes to the financial breakdown, worldwide gives it a good looking number. But when it comes to the actual accounting of it, it's not as big as it seems.
Well, they don't even take, like in the case of China, for example, they don't take all the money anyway. You know, some of it goes back to China.
See, again, look at this here. It will hit 400. What I'm saying has to hit at least 500, 600 for any reasonable profit.
Okay, but I thought 400 was the profit line.
Yeah.
So which is it?
Yeah. Never mind the fact that it's like, according to Screen Rant, it only needed 300 million to break even. And 63 on top of that is basically going to be all profit. And then, of course, they're also playing the long game here. Again, the long game is going to be going to Disney Plus. I think it's going to hit home video mid next month.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of money that people are going to be spending on the 4K, the DVD, and the Blu-ray, predominantly the DVD, because for some fucking reason, that is still the number one seller.
Yeah. Plus, you got to remember digital rentals, PVOD on demand via cable, you know?
No, you don't know 400 is a break-even line. That's again, it's kind of like, where is that written? I Googled it, like Screen Rant, which is, I'm sorry, way more of, it's way more.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
I would argue that, okay, hold on here. Let me bring up this thing again. Let me bring up this page again. All right. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's see what we can in regards to the financials. Okay. So they don't say what the budget of it is anymore. I've noticed that Box Office Mojo has gotten rid of the budget. Have you noticed that?
I don't pay enough attention to their website because I think their new design is terrible.
Yeah, I blame IMDb Pro, but guess who owns them? Amazon. So
yeah.
let me just Google this here. I just don't want to give out any compromising information on myself. So Shang-Chi budget break-even point. Okay. So according to, all right, let's see here. Reddit is saying that it cost roughly $150 million to make. So if you tag on another 100 or 75, because usually it's like half the budget goes into marketing. That's kind of the rule of thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say 150 million to make, and then another 75 million on top of that, it puts it at $225 million would be the break-even point.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, that's if you want to look at it from that perspective.
Okay.
Right. I mean, people are arguing that even then, but then now you have the National Post here. But the National Post is a more right-leaning organization. But again, it's kind of like, we don't know what their internal numbers for it were. We don't know any of that detail, you know. So we don't know what any of that stuff is. But
Right.
they're kind of anticipating here, or estimating that it's roughly that it's, you know, okay, let's say $150 million. Okay, here, I'll just bring this up, because I mean, look, it is Screen Rant, all right, and like, you know, we can follow the math here. So it says Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is releasing, so we take a look at how much the Marvel movie cost to make and its box office prospects. Okay, So let me just kind of skip ahead here. All right. So there have been no reports listing Shang-Chi's but a ballpark figure can be narrowed down by looking at previously comparable Marvel movies. So saying that the budget for Captain Marvel was 152 to 175, Doctor Strange was 165 to 236. That's insane. Black Widow had a $200 million production budget. Something in the neighborhood of about 150 million plus is probably fair. So again, even going off of that metric, we don't know. So we're just using that as a baseline, but it is in no way calculable as being fact. So let's just I'll update that. Right. Okay. So, but apparently update Shang-Chi's reported budget is 150 million. And who is this coming in from here? So, all right. So let's see. Shang-Chi had reportedly a lower budget, but where I want to just double check. Okay. According to Toronto's National Post via comicbook.com, the budget was 150.
Okay.
But the thing is, this is largely due to the fact that the film received a $50 million tax credit from the Australian government, representing a significant savings for Marvel. Okay. All right. So they're saying that it was 200 and then they got a $50 million. Well, it's not all of that's going to be spent there, by the way. You know, they like ILM does all the visual effects. Skywalker Sound does all the audio stuff. That's all done back in California. It is what it is. So, okay. So let's say 150 million, at least according to this article. Again, that's not confirmed. The National Post, if it came out of Variety, Deadline, or Hollywood Reporter, I'd be more inclined to believe it. So, saying here, the general rule of thumb stipulates that a movie must earn twice its production budget in order to break even. This means that the mark Shang-Chi would have to cross would be at least 300 million worldwide. It will be interesting to see how it performs during a theatrical run, which is said to be a shorter window of only 45 days. So, I mean, again, the double the amount generally seems like a good rule of thumb. So again, you know, arguing that, and we're talking in speculation here. All right. We're talking in speculation because we have no real way of knowing, but even that seems like a pretty generous thing. That would put it at approximately, 300 million. It's done 360 million. So it's safe to assume that the film has turned some profit for Disney.
Yeah.
Maybe not a great deal of profit, but it's definitely turned some profit for the company.
And again, when we have PVOD plus, let's see what it does on Disney Plus. If like, I know it's no extra charge, but you know, if it's going to be in, like, they're using it at this point as a play to boost subscriptions in Asian markets right now, I think.
Well, so, yeah. And that's kind of what's going to happen with like Zaslav and HBO Max and everything else. Like they're going to try to really boost those subscription numbers because they know that's where the money is. At this point, that's where the fucking money is. You know, like they don't have to spend it. Like Netflix spends like no money on advertising, really. You know, so they know how where to funnel their cash. It's going to keep people paying out that $15-$16 a month.
Right.
So they make their cash on that way, and that's what Disney's going to do on that front as well. So there's definitely I'm not too worried about like that specifically, but I do think that the movie has done actually pretty well. I think it will continue to do pretty well. And I think that,
I mean, the fans are happy with it. I think it's obviously they want to make it a franchise. It probably will be at this point, and everything's going to be hunky dory, you know?
Yeah. Oh no, I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to pull in, that it's going to definitely get fans, especially once it hits Disney Plus. I think from there we're going to see a lot of, you know, I think Disney's going to come out and tout it as a highly viewed thing. And then Samba TV might give us some numbers that we can look at and go, that's kind of an idea, but it's not 100% fact.
Right.
I think I was even on Wikipedia the other day and like they referenced Samba for like the Suicide Squad for viewership. And I was like, oh my God. But like, whatever.
Good old Samba TV.
Good old Samba. I mean, like, look, they try. We love them. Bless them. They try. And then, okay, so right now we've got H. Bartz with $5 says, can Druckmann direct live action? Filoni needed training. Going back to the Last of Us conversation there, I would argue that, yeah, because he did all the mocap for The Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted. He directed the mocap sequences.
Yeah, it's not one-to-one, but it is a pretty, you know, you get an understanding how to work with actors already. Well,
right? You get an understanding how to do blocking, how to do framing, how to do shot composition, how to work with the actors to elicit the response you want to get. You know, because they were still technically acting. So it's like you do get that quite a bit. So I would argue that essentially that's kind of where things are. But yeah, on that front, I definitely have an idea for that. All right, so here's the next thing I kind of want to quickly touch upon here, which is there was this rumor that came out, or this report that came out on Friday about apparently Spider-Man. Sony wants to do Sinister 6. They have major plans for this.
Yeah, apparently this came from Deadline. They had like this new podcast they're doing, and they basically, for the first episode, they're like, "Yep, they got Sinister 6 in the works."
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm wondering, before we dive into the article, like I'm wondering if Sinister 6 is like kind of their Achilles heel.
You know? The one thing they can never do, and it always kills whatever franchise they're working on.
Yeah, because they tried that with Amazing Spider-Man 2. That, I mean, they forced. I mean, look, they took the Iron Man 2 concept and they forced it hard on Amazing Spider-Man 2. And at least at the end there, they were very much wanting to make that, like, you know, they wanted to establish the franchise. I think it was even announced before the movie came out that Drew Goddard was doing it.
Yeah, he was writing and directing it. Which,
so
he could have maybe salvaged it. I would still like to see him direct that movie if it's handled better.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I don't think so. He kind of had a falling out with I think with Disney. He had a bit of a falling out. So, because he left that to go work on Daredevil. He actually developed Daredevil. He was going to be the showrunner. Was he
involved in the first season though?
No, well, he established the show. He was the showrunner. He was the executive producer. And then he stepped down from that, and then Stephen DeKnight came in. But he established like the framework. I think he's the one who did the casting. He established like the framework for the show. And so I think DeKnight did a fantastic job and really brought it over the finish line for the first season. Yeah. But Goddard's touch was all over that. And I think Goddard is a very good filmmaker. So I really want to see like what else would have come out of that one here. But let's see what this report is saying here. So according to that podcast, the Deadline's Hero Nation podcast, Deadline's Anthony D'Alessandro revealed an interesting scoop about Sony and their hopes for the future, saying here, because Sony's always kept outside of the current Spider-Man stuff they're doing with Disney MCU, Sony's always kept their Marvel stuff separate. And with this Venom, they're actually going to connect the Spider-Man universe. That's all being set up with the Disney MCU. So that's very interesting. I know one of their long-term goals is to make Sinister 6, that kind of project we're all waiting for, their version of the bad guys from the Spider-Man universe.
So there you go right there. They're connecting Venom to the MCU.
I mean, we've already kind of known that.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, I think this means Morbius and Kraven are going to exist in the MCU.
Yeah. I think anything going forward is going to exist in the MCU. Because that's exactly, and what have I been saying this entire fucking time? That's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't know how they're going to do it just yet. I don't know how they're going to make it work. But obviously, I believe this was part of the deal that they had set up with Sony back in 2019. And maybe it was an extended deal down the road. Maybe this was a whole thing where they were really trying to, like that they had come, maybe they renegotiated the terms or something down the road.
Yeah, I think whatever deal they made in 2019 is what got us a lot of the stuff that we got. So,
well, I mean, at least it got us No Way Home, and it's possible that they worked that deal with Kevin. But I think what it was is, look, they've got it's a carrot stick philosophy. Mm-hmm. They're going to go to Kevin Feige and they're going to dangle that carrot in front of him, and that's really what it's going to be. And the reason why that's fascinating to me personally is because it shows that Feige, like, look, I know we talk up Feige a lot. I know we like to, say he's kind of like, he's like the GOAT, the best producer ever, that kind of stuff. And I agree with that. I really like Feige. But what I think here is that, like, he understands it from a business perspective. It's better to work with them than it is and keep them happy, because then they won't have a repeat of 2019. Because the last thing either company wants is a repeat.
No, I think it benefits both of them to keep working together. And the fact that Feige is basically like, yep, you guys can connect your stuff to our stuff. It's fine. And we'll work it out. I think speaks to the fact that they're going to be more closely tied than ever before,
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. I'm just wondering, you know, I don't know if we're ever going to get the full extent of what the deal is. You know, I don't know if we're ever going to get that, but I'm really hoping that it's going to be like, I just don't want it to be ham-fisted.
Well, no, think about this, man. They've already been building to it, right? You already have Vulture. They're setting up Scorpion. We had a Mysterio. That's 3 villains right there. That's half the team, right?
Yeah.
You throw in Venom. That's 4. Then you introduce 2 new villains in subsequent movies, probably like Spider-Man 4 and 5, and Spider-Man 6 to conclude the college trilogy, Sinister 6, right?
Yeah. No, I get. I just don't want. I just don't want them to rush it.
In the MCU.
Yeah, I just don't want them to rush
I don't think
it.
they're rushing it though, because they've already introduced these characters already, right?
Well, so, I mean, like they've introduced them, but it's all going to boil down. It really is all going to boil down to how the story itself comes out, and that is going to be the thing for me, right? So, like, if you go back to Amazing Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 established that they were obviously building towards a Sinister Six, showing us, you know, was it Mr. Sinister at the end there? Was that who the guy was?
I think the rumors that it's supposed to be Miles Warren, the Jackal.
Oh, okay. I forget who it was. Either way, whoever the hell it was we saw at the end there was like showing us like all of these apparatuses for these characters exist. And it was cool, but you know, I mean, looking at how Rhino, and okay, I'll fully admit, and this may damage some people's impressions of me or whatever. I liked Paul Giamatti in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Why?
I liked it. I did. I thought it was a unique take on the character, and I thought the idea of having a robotic Rhino suit just seemed to kind of work. I was absolutely okay with that. And I love Paul Giamatti, which is another reason why I was down for it. And I liked it. And I thought that was better than fucking Jamie Foxx, okay?
By the way, I got it wrong. It was not Miles Warren. The guy in the shadows, the guy in the top hat who was sitting up is like the guy behind the strings is actually the gentleman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out.
Here's the difference though, man. They're doing Sinister Six instead of trying to stupidly make its own movie where they're all on their own and they fight Spider-Man, and you see from like they're actually going to probably just do it as a Spider-Man movie, not do it like it's a spin-off, you know?
Yeah. No, I know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I'm hoping that it's the thing here. Jacob, you're asking, is Sony going to get a new director for Tom Holland for Spider-Man 4? Probably. Yeah. John Watts is going to be off doing Fantastic Four, and they're probably going to get someone new. And you know what? They should. If he's going to move on to a different chapter in his life.
Did you see that there's a bidding war for his new movie with George Clooney and Brad Pitt?
No.
You didn't see that?
Oh, right. No, I did. I kind of tried taking the last couple of days off, to be honest with you, just because of everything. I was like, I'll just take it off and I'll just go back to it at another time, you know? Also yesterday, I think it was yesterday, because there was like the TUDUM stuff yesterday too.
Oh yeah. TUDUM.
I know that didn't dawn on me. So I'm like, TUDUM. And then I'm like, oh, TUDUM. Like it's the fucking sound. All right.
Yeah. It's a pretty stupid name.
Yeah. But to kind of wrap things up with the Spider-Man stuff, look, I'm excited for it. I think if Marvel is involved, obviously this is going to be a big thing. If they are at all worried about that loss, about that suit coming in, then you could arguably figure that they have until 2023 to make this shit work. So we're going to see a lot of Spider-Man stuff go into production. If they are legitimately afraid of that, they're going to see stuff going into production by 2023. So expect there to be a fuck ton of Spider-Man content, and I'm okay with that actually, because I think I'm really excited to spend more time with Spider-Man. I always have loved that character, and I think that's one of the things, like I'm protective over that character in the MCU. I want it to stay, but I also want the world to expand.
No, I totally get that.
So, all right, real quick here. Andrew Dunbar, $2, buddy. Thank you. Says the Farrelly brothers had zero training for Dumb and Dumber. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, what was it? The Russo brothers had only done You, Me, and Dupree, I believe, before going on and doing Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Didn't they also do episodes of Community?
They did, and they did some action-packed episodes of Community too, which are great from season 2. I'm just saying it's like, you know, yeah, they cut their chops there. That happens all over the place. So, you know, people get better over time. Simon section here. It says, "What are you talking about, Jarbo? Kevin Feige is our Lord and Savior, and when he breaks wind, it smells like cinnamon. It also smells like lavender, but that's just depending on how your palate is that day." You gotta love. I love Kevin Feige. I love the. I love the deification of Kevin Feige for some reason. I just think it's fucking funny. You know, it's like because he basically is a big ass nerd and he respects it enough to tell us good stories, or at least fun stories. All right, I'm not gonna say everything is great. You know, Captain Marvel exists, but they're fun stories, and that you can end up really enjoying them and everything else. So thank you for that, Simon. Music Man here says, "What the hell is wrong with you, Matt Rhino? What? I liked it.
He was so bad.
It was so over the top. I just enjoyed the hell out of it."
Yeah, it wasn't a good over the top though. It was just cringy.
You know what? Not as cringy as Dane DeHaan as Goblin. Okay.
Hey! If they would have just released the web cut, there was an amazing scene in that third act where like he literally like laughs as Peter's crying over the dead body of Gwen Stacy, and Peter beats him nearly to death but stops himself. That would have been amazing to see.
Yeah, they should have let him cut loose, but obviously they're just afraid. They're afraid of letting Peter actually be a boy, have emotions and shit. I don't know. RPK here with $5, man. Thank you. Says, can Venom even be considered a villain with how he's been portrayed in the movies so far to be a part of the Sinister Six? He wouldn't be a part of the Sinister Six, though.
I think he would.
No, he won't.
Yeah, I think he'd lead it.
No, what? No, what? No, what?
Yes. I think what they would do is they would find a way to where the symbiote's going to lose control and he'd be more villainous. At least for one movie until the
They don't need Venom, though. They don't need Venom in the Sinister Six. Like, not at all.
Then how do you get Venom involved?
Venom gets involved to fight Carnage. They become two separate properties.
So Carnage is in the Sinister Six or what?
No, no. There will be no Venom in the Sinister Six.
You don't think he'd be a member?
No. When has Venom ever been in the Sinister Six?
He hasn't been, but I think they do it for this movie.
Okay, they wouldn't do it. That makes no sense. They're establishing Venom as an anti-hero.
It's Sony.
Sony who's gonna take a lot of freaking info from Marvel. All right, they're not gonna sit there and put Venom. Venom is the hero. Like, that movie made a lot of money. They're not gonna turn their hero into a villain.
Well, he's not really a hero. He's meant to be an anti-hero.
Yeah, but villainous. An anti-hero is still basically just like a slightly edgier hero. To get the best summarization of an anti-hero would be Batman from the ending of fucking.
Or what about this? What if the Venom symbiote leaves Eddie Brock and attaches up to someone else?
No, because that Venom likes Eddie. Dude, they've even said that Venom 2 is a love story between Venom and Eddie Brock. Like, the two love each other. Okay. Like, the two have grown fond of each other. Okay. I'm just okay. You got Shocker, Scorpion, Vulture.
Shocker wouldn't be Sinister Six. I don't think he's big enough.
Shocker would be Sinister Six, yeah. Or it'd be Electro, right? You have Electro. You've got Green Goblin, effectively. Okay. You got Doc Ock if they bring Alfred Molina back for that, or whatever the fuck they're going to do. You've got Vulture. Bokeem Woodbine with Shocker.
Wait, so you're saying they're going to keep the characters from No Way Home?
I think that's the easiest pathway to giving us a Sinister Six.
Because I think that they're just going to be in the one movie and they're going to introduce their own MCU villains to be like. I think it's going to be kind of the Sinister Six, like a tease of what it could be, but it's going to be mostly. It needs to be all Tom Holland original villains. It needs to be his Vulture, his Electro, his Mysterio, his Doc Ock, etc., etc. I think Kraven, if they're going to introduce Kraven, I think Kraven could be part of it.
I always kind of figured Kraven was more like just more of a solo guy.
Well, he's been part of the team before, though.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just I always like that. Never really kind of stuck well with me.
I just don't think that those Sam Raimi and Amazing Spider-Man villains are going to carry over to multiple movies. I think it's just like a nice one and done kind of thing for now.
But see, and that's my fear with Sony right there, and their lack of fucking foresight. That's how I view it with him. I view it as a lack of foresight. What
connection would Tom Holland's Peter have to those villains? He's never met them before.
What emotional connection did he really have to
villains that he's known before coming together to fight him because they're sick of his shit and then losing to him?
Well, here's the thing. If they open up the multiverse and those characters come over, right? Because of the what's it called? The emergence or whatever, right? Let's say Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Electro get stuck in 616. Okay, they get stuck in 616. They may not know that Peter Parker. They may not know that version of Peter Parker, but they know Spider-Man and they hate Spider-Man, and that could be their mutual hatred of Spider-Man. Doesn't matter who's behind the mask, just Spider-Man.
True, but by the rules of the universe, does that mean that there's never going to be another Norman Osborn or Otto Octavius that exists in the MCU?
I don't know,
because that's the rules of the universe, right? That there there has to exist an MCU version of these characters, and I think it'd be smart to do an MCU version of Norman Osborn, someone younger than Willem Dafoe, because you could use him for Secret Invasion, other storylines down the road, like Dark Avengers, like they're teasing.
Well, I don't know. It just at that point it comes across as too fucking complicated, and they would still need to go to Sony to get Sony involved to want to do that. And is Sony even going to want to?
If Sony's gonna have their movies connect to the MCU and Venom and Morbius, yeah, they're gonna let them use Norman Osborn.
I don't know.
On, why would they not, dude?
It just doesn't make any sense.
And Morbius and Craven,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't make any sense to establish that is unless they go and they meet their younger counterpart. They meet this counterpart, and then they what movie did that where there was fucking time travel and the person met himself and did whatever. I forget what it is, but I don't know. Sony is going to need to get the simplest pathway to get them to Sinister Six is going to be introducing the characters now, establishing that connection now, and then not killing them. And they're all going to end up on the raft at the end of the fucking movie. Or, and I'm not going to say what it is, but I know what you're talking about. All right. I know what you're talking about. I saw that previs that was floating around Twitter the other day.
Oh, God damn it. There's been multiple.
But you know the one I'm talking about. You know the one I'm talking about. Okay. And I don't want to spoil it. All right. But if that is real, if that is real, then there you go. At the end of this movie, they're going to basically establish that as a thing.
I disagree. I think at the end of the movie, they get teleported back to their own universes.
That's if that's really that person and not somebody else in disguise.
Wow. You never know. You never know. Theory out there, by the way, that this entire movie is actually a construction of Mysterio. That's Mysterio messing with Peter Parker again.
Oh, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Oh no, that would piss everybody off.
That'd be great though. That kind of trolling I would like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd be mad as fuck. But I'd laugh my ass off because I'd be mad as fuck. I'm like, oh, that was good. You got me. Because I think at this point in time, there's certain things I'm just not taking as seriously as maybe I used to.
But anyway. That's what I'm saying. Some of the characters, you can't have Alfred Molina be a villain because he can't be a bad guy. I think in this movie, there's going to be a reason why he's bad. I think he's probably going to be controlled by the arms or something.
The arms, weren't they? They were red, right? The little eyes were red.
That's right. Yeah,
and the trailer, which is a callback. So, I mean, look, if you look at the Spider-Man 2018 video game, the relationship between Doc Ock and Spider-Man was great. But I should say Otto and Peter was great. And then of course everything that happened with that was a very good evolution of the character. There's a lot of development there to get to the point of where he got to.
I just think it's going to be smarter if they just introduce their own version of these villains, their Tom Holland specific versions. That's I
want that too. This is why I don't like the fucking multiverse, RJ. All right, but the last thing I'll say about it is this, and I forget where I read this, but I just read it the other day. They were talking about someone had mentioned, it was someone in I think an official capacity had said the multiverse saga is how they framed it. And I'm like, there you go. There you fucking go. This isn't a permanent thing, by the way. The multiverse in regards to the MCU is not a permanent thing. What was the last 20 some fucking movies, right? It was the Infinity Saga. Right? It was the Infinity Saga. Now, if they're calling this the multiverse saga, that's eventually going to have an end date. We're going to get another massive thing where it's going to end. Who knows who it's going to end with. And then from there, it's going to end up, that's going to move on to the next thing, which who knows what that's going to be. Who knows what that's going to be. Could be Apocalypse. Could be the Apocalypse saga.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's gonna be funny too, because if that's the case, then Marvel will be done with their multiverse saga by the time DC starts theirs.
Well, yeah, by the time DC figures out, well, hey, listen. Marvel learned to run so DC could crawl. Right? Cuz I mean, like, look, it's not the shit seems about right. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. I think that's a good place to end it right there. Matt here, 1306. Thanks, buddy. Venom would fight Null in the third movie. Who I don't know who that is.
You don't know? Okay, so Null. Okay, so in the comics recently, they established that there's a planet of symbiotes, right? Which Venom's already done.
Oh,
Null
right.
is the king. Null is the king in black. He controls all symbiote life. He is the king of the symbiotes. So in the storyline, King in Black, Venom had to fight Null, and then Venom became the king of the symbiotes, and he took control of the planet over him. It's a really cool storyline. It's really
would they
cool.
ever do that as a movie? I mean,
absolutely. Especially if it's going to connect to the MCU. That's
well. What I mean, does that have anything to do with Battle Planet?
No, it's totally different.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, like a lot of these runs, I just know like tangentially by name. I haven't read them or nothing.
It's really good. Like Null is a perfect villain for Venom. I think Venom 3 will probably be something else, but they do like Venom 4 or like another trilogy.
Venom 3 is going to be it's Spider-Man and Venom versus Carnage. It's going to be Maximum Carnage. It's going to be Venom. It's like right now Venom Let There Be Carnage, and then the next one's going to be Venom Maximum Carnage, or just Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because they want them to. If they're introducing Spider-Man into this world with this movie, then obviously from there, fuck, I'm not even gonna be able to go see it on. Goddamn, my girlfriend's 40th birthday is on Thursday.
Oh wow, yeah.
Shit.
Take her to go see Venom for your birthday.
She's not gonna want to go see. Well, she might. No, we got the kids. We're going to the zoo. We're going to the zoo that day. Oh. Taking the girls to the zoo. That's what we're spending her 40th. We have plans for next year, but it's just COVID. I might be able to sneak away at the end of the night.
I know. Yeah, no. My plan is to go Thursday night, hopefully.
Yeah, go to bed, babe. Go to bed. It's all good. I'm going to the other room. I may not do a live stream then on Thursday night because I may be off seeing the movie. But we'll figure that one as we get to that point. But yeah, I don't know. I think if they're going to introduce Spider-Man into this one, obviously the intent is to push it towards the other.
Yeah.
So anyway, RPK here says that per Wikipedia, Venom has been a part of the Sinister Six.
Well, there you go.
All right.
I had to read those comics things. I don't remember exactly, but
yeah. Carlos here says Mr. Negative is coming. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, Mr. Negative would be amazing in a movie. For sure.
So, okay. And Rational here has a question for you, RJ. So, RJ, does the Raimi and Andrew verse have their own Infinity Stones or their own TVA?
That's way too complicated to even think about. I'm going to say no because it's just too much to think about.
Yeah, you're not really wrong on that one. That's where you start really getting into the whole craziness part of it. And then Andrew here with another $2, man. Thank you. Says DeJarbo is thinking of Star Trek. Okay. I don't know.
I was confused reading that.
Yeah, and then H Bart's here says Sandman is going to be good, right? I don't know. I mean, the stuff from TUDUM looked
because the thing is, no, not Sandman. He's talking about not the Sandman.
Right. Talking about Sandman is going to be good, as in Sandman is not going to be a villain, but Sandman's going to be a good guy.
Again, this is the tricky part that they're going to navigate. You cannot ignore, because the idea is that they got plucked out right from their other movies that they've been in. So you can't negate the character arcs they've gone through, right? So
no, and the thing is, Sandman at the end of number 3 was not a good guy, but
even before the end, he was still a good guy. He was just a guy doing the wrong thing because he had to.
Yeah, that's very true. So I mean, I don't even know if he's in it.
There's rumors that he is. It hasn't been confirmed yet, though.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, I'm thinking of 12 Monkeys. The time travel. Yeah. No, 12 Monkeys is a fucking fantastic movie. God damn, that's a good movie. You ever see 12 Monkeys?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's so good.
It's Bruce Willis, right?
Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, Madeline Stowe. It's Terry Gilliam directed film too.
Oh, okay.
So it's very weird. It's weird Brad Pitt. right?
Okay.
It's like early 90s Brad Pitt. It was weird Brad Pitt. Like we're talking like Thelma and Louise, True Romance, fucking California. Which California was an interesting one. That's David Duchovny is a like a true crime writer, right? Or he's a novelist. And he's like kind of tracking serial killers, and he ends up going on a cross country road trip with his girlfriend, and he picks up Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis, and they're weird, know, and they go with him on it. And it's a weird movie, but it's it's an old one. I'm also apparently thinking of Lost in Space. Was it time travel in Lost in Space? I haven't seen the show.
Yeah, they get the reason it's called Lost in Space is because the mission goes wrong and they get like frozen in time. They get teleported to the wrong planet or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jacob here asks, Matt, thoughts on James McAvoy saying never say never to a potential return as Professor X? Well, there has been some stuff that I've seen floating around. A lot of pre-visuals have been popping up recently in regards to some of this stuff, like Doctor Strange.
I will say this. Whoever's security team at Marvel needs to be fired because there's been so much stuff come about Doctor Strange. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's really, but I'm wondering also if they're testing out, like if leaking it could make it so people actually go see it. Like the first one did well, but it's like, is this one going to do better?
This movie's like guaranteed success. The title alone is guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be fine.
Well, I mean, it's been 5 years almost since the last one came out. By the time we get to this one,
they took way too long.
It's like they took too long for this, and the same for Black Widow. It's like, why was Black Widow not out? I mean,
Black Widow should have been a phase 2 or phase 3 movie.
As I said today to someone, I'm like, look, in 5 years, the chronology of where Black Widow, when it was released, won't even fucking matter. Like people who rewatch it will just do Civil War, Black Widow, move on to the next one. So it's like they're just gonna have it in that timeline right there, and it's not gonna feel any different, and you're gonna be perfectly fine with it. Whereas, I can see what you're talking about here. Simon here with $2, thank you, man, says Jarbo is taking his woman out Rocky style. No skating. No, well, we're not really, I don't. There's one roller rink around here and it's closed. So, and no, neither one of us skate. Like I literally fall on my ass. I can't skate. I have like no balance. And Andrew here says, where did the Django, right? It's thinking of Looper. No, I'm not thinking of Looper. I never think of Looper.
Well, you don't like that movie?
No, God, no. That movie's terrible.
What? You don't like Looper? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Looper's good.
Looper? No, it's not.
What's wrong? Okay. In like 30 seconds, say what's wrong with Looper. Like, what's your elevator pitch for why it sucks?
Telekinesis.
Okay.
Serves no purpose to the film at all. It is a weird MacGuffin that makes no sense outside of the one shot of just killing the guy. That's about it. It doesn't serve. It's like it doesn't serve a purpose in the rest of the movie. It's literally just there. The concept is cool. Bruce Willis actually killing kids was fascinating that they went that far. I just felt like it lost itself in the back half of that movie. And it just like, I know everyone like really likes it, but it's just like, it didn't land the climax. And I know that the climax, like the ending of the movie was going to end up being like the only thing, right? Like that to me was like, yeah, all right, I get it. Like that was the outcome. Ryan Johnson can tell better stories than that. Knives Out is a clear example. Brick is a clear example, but The Last Jedi is not a clear example because that story's terrible. Did you happen to hear me and Enosh going at it the other night about The Last Jedi?
Last night or
no, it was a couple nights ago. I went on his stream after I wrapped up here, and we were talking about The Last Jedi. And I explained to him why I didn't like how Luke Skywalker died.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, no, him just disappearing doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we get that. It's a sacrifice. And then he goes and starts complaining in The Rise of Skywalker about how Rey was able to fix the X-Wing without us watching her fix the X-Wing and then get off Octu and go out to Exegol. And I'm like, that's exactly my complaint with the Last Jedi. We don't know. We see nothing about how the Force works in that regard. And he's like, nuh-uh.
This is why I can't have Star Wars talk, especially on The Last Jedi, because like it's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it's all good shit, dude. It's all good.
No,
shit.
I know. It's just like
we got some Last Jedi lovers in the chat. Oh, I have to red pill you guys. On that one here, Andrew Dunbar with $5, man. Thanks. Says Rocky Balboa is the greatest hero in American cinema. Come fight me live stream if you disagree. You are wrong. Well, I mean, I've honestly never seen any of the Rocky movies, so I don't know.
What the hell?
Yeah, I've never have. I just never cared.
Wow,
I just never fucking cared. I just never cared.
I am shocked that.
Whatever. It's fine.
That's like, listen, you need to go on HBO Max and watch those movies.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
classics, man.
I can't even get through anything else. But I tell you this, we are running low on time because I have to be pretty quick. But I did want to get through. We're kind of going to rush through this, RJ. But I know you watched it yesterday. I think you watched TUDUM.
Okay. I didn't watch it. I watched the highlights.
Yeah, well, the highlights are all you needed to watch, to be honest with you. Other than that, it was kind of like, okay. I was watching it yesterday morning, like on my phone.
To be honest, I was just like, I just don't care.
I just wanted to get the highlights. Yeah, I just wanted to see the trailers. I didn't really care about like everyone talking about it, like Neil Gaiman talking about Sandman. Nah, never read it. I'll watch the show though.
You gotta read it. So.
Yeah. Everyone's like, what? You've never seen The Rock? I've never seen Godfather either. I own it, but I've never watched the movies.
It's more of a crime to not have seen any of the Rocky movies.
No.
That's a bigger crime.
No.
I can let Godfather slide, but not
no.
Rocky.
What did Rocky influence outside of Adrian? Like, it didn't influence shit. It's like fucking The Godfather influenced cinema. All right. Like The Godfather influenced like Martin Scorsese and a lot of other filmmakers. Rocky's like, hey, yo, I'm just going to like beat the shit out this fucking slab of meat. And like fucking play
storytelling.
It is. Yeah, sure. It's emotional storytelling. It's about it
renovated the modern sports film.
It's about it's about a mentally disabled, guy who fucking punches shit.
I don't know if he's mentally disabled.
I've seen fucking Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the movie Real Steel. It's the same thing.
Oh, it's not even close to the same thing.
I'm just kidding. Goodness. I'm just kidding. Hold on here. Cam says the training montage. That's what Rocky influenced. There we go. AG says Rocky influenced Rocky 2. Yeah, but then that also influenced Rocky 5. So like, what the fuck? And then, hold on here. Wait, I saw a comment about you, RJ, that I want to bring up here. Where's that at? Oh, Mohu says, for once, RJ is making sense.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad it made sense at least once in my life.
That's good. Yeah. Jacob, you're asking, have I watched Goodfellas? Yes, I've seen Goodfellas. I've seen that a bunch.
There you go. At least
of course I've seen I haven't seen Casino though, but I've seen Goodfellas. Okay. So a lot of those movies came out when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed to see them. Like when fucking when Pulp Fiction came out, like my parents rented it and I wanted to watch it, and they're like, you can't watch this movie. You are like literally like 13 years old. And then I'm like, well, like eat a bag of dicks, because fuck you guys, I want to watch it. And then so it wasn't until like 2 years later where they were going out of town. They were going to a wedding for the night, and I rode my bike home from work, stopped off a Hollywood Video. I rented Seven and I rented Pulp Fiction because like they had it on there that I could rent R-rated movies, and they were not going to be home. So I watched Seven and Pulp Fiction that night, and I wasn't allowed to. And, I was like, cool. So like, back then, like it wasn't my parents for like really inhibiting me. I got grounded for a week once because I watched fucking Predator. I don't understand it. Yeah, like I don't understand it. Like I'm not going to be that parent with my kid, But then again, like I got grounded for watching Predator, but like one night my stepdad and I watched Halloween. I went to the library and I rented Halloween and Alien. And we watched both Halloween and Alien that night. And my stepdad was like, "You're going to get scared." I'm like, "I'll be fine." Oh fuck, I was terrified. I was scared shitless. Like I remember one night we watched Halloween 2 on TV, but I got fucking grounded for watching goddamn Predator.
That don't make no sense to me.
It doesn't. There was a lot of inconsistency with my parents and my upbringing, like a lot of weird shit. But once I turned like 13, 14 somewhere in there, like, and they just kind of stopped paying attention as much, it was like all bets were off, Like at one point, and again, this is like literally true. My mom was asked my mom, "Hey, can you take me to the theater? I want to go see a movie." She's like, "Okay, cool. What do you want to see?" And I'm like, "I want to go see Last Man Standing," which is, I think, Bruce Willis movie from like 96. I was 14. And she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Hey, listen though, it's rated R. Can you go buy my ticket?" And she's like, "Okay." Right. Didn't question it. Nothing like that. Cool. So or maybe it was 97, but anyway, I was like 14, 15. So she goes and she buys my ticket, and then I walk up to the box office and I wait in between the two tellers right there, and I wait for somebody, like a couple, to purchase tickets for Last Man Standing. And then I followed them in and I handed my ticket to the ticket taker who was right behind them, and he thought that I was with those people.
Okay.
And so then I just walked in and saw the movie, and they never cared, but like that's the length I had to go through in order to like go see these films and shit. And then of course I turned 17 and like they just stopped fucking carding me.
Right. It's like, we don't care.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're 17 now? Okay, cool. Go watch a movie. Like, fuck. Anyway. Yeah, Andrew here says my dad started taking me to R-rated movies early. I'm gonna do that with my kids. I mean, obviously there's gonna be like,
I actually saw the first R-rated movie I saw in theaters. Actually, Kick-Ass. I remember that. Now it's like, when that movie come out?
Yeah,
was it 2011?
Kick-Ass was April 2010.
Oh Jesus, I was like,
11
or 12.
I went to the opening night of that movie at the Burbank 16. And I still remember seeing it there because they were really heavily marketing that in LA, right? It was big in LA, and that place was fucking packed, dude. Everyone wanted to see Nick Cage's Big Daddy,
Yeah.
And he should have fucking won some awards for that performance too. I think I loved that shit. But anyway, Andrew here with $5, man. Thank you very much. It says you need to watch First Rocky as a red-blooded American male. You must. You haven't seen it, you don't know. Listen, I'm a red-blooded American male in the modern age. You know what that means? I fucking know comic book movies. All right? I don't need to watch Rocky. I can just watch Iron Man.
Nah, you need to get some protein in you, man. You gotta watch some Rocky.
The fuck?
Well, there's meat. There's the meat. He hits the meat bags and all that.
Jacob here says, damn, RJ Young as fuck.
You're just now realizing?
I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of, hold on here. Josh says, LOL, Alien isn't the scariest movie ever. Dude, when you're a kid, that movie's fucking terrifying.
It's still scary.
That movie is still freaky. Watch that shit in 4K.
Where the one woman goes into like the crevices and you see the alien pop out with the hands.
Yeah.
And she screams. There's
watch that
scary stuff in that movie.
Watch that movie in fucking 4K, dog. It's like, it's good. It's good shit.
I can't. I'd probably.
Simon here with $2. Thank you, man. It says Rocky 3 made me study harder in high school.
Dude, that soundtrack for Rocky 3 is so goddamn good.
Yeah, I know that. I know Eye of the Tiger. I know Eye of the Tiger. Like everyone knows Eye of the fucking Tiger. So it's it's not like it's wasted.
Well, anyway, Eye of the Tiger. I mean, you had some. The fourth one had what was it? The fourth Rocky that in the Burning Heart, I think.
I don't know. Hold on here. Ed Zeno says that one woman, RJ Boomer. All right, wait. Is that the woman? Her name is RJ. Wasn't Brenda Bach in that one too? An alien.
I think that's her name. I don't know the name.
Yeah.
Only actor I know in that is Sigourney Weaver. The other ones I keep.
Dude, Tom Skerritt, Ian Holm,
John Hurt.
Oh, John Hurt. Ian Holm was in number 3. No, he was in number 2.
Ian Holm was in there.
Yeah. John Hurt. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. John Hurt died first. Ian Holm was the droid. Lance Henriksen was the droid in number 3. And number 2. He was because Bishop, right? It was Bishop in the first one.
Yeah, it was Bishop.
Bishop. Yeah. The synth. I think the synth or whatever they called them and shit back then.
Veronica Cartwright, I think.
Veronica, that's right. Brenda Bach they look kind of similar. Brenda Bach and Veronica Cartwright, they look similar. But thank you very much, Zeno, for filming that one here. Cam, we touched upon the Marvel lawsuit the other night. We kind of touched upon it a little bit earlier in the episode.
It's a non-story. Don't worry about it.
And not a non-story.
Well, okay, it's not a non-story.
It's not like doom and gloom and shit. But I think Marvel's just gonna bleed him dry. Anyway.
I think that's gonna pay him out.
I don't think they're gonna pay him out.
Why would they not pay him out?
Because they're gonna lose because they do that.
Pay him $1 million and move on.
They're not gonna give him $1 million. They get co-fucking ownership.
I'm just saying, give him some money. That's all he wanted. That's all the reason the suit happened.
Yeah, I know they want money, but they're not going to sit there and take $1 million. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. All right, they want to haul out Steve Ditko's body. They want to dig it up from whatever mausoleum it's in, and they want to pump it plug it into an IV that's connected right to the throbbing vein on Mickey's cock, and just pump him full of that Marvel money. That's what they want. They just want to transfusion all that money in there.
That's a very
Yeah.
It's an elaborate description, man.
It's a very, very, very stark analogy. I don't know where the fuck that came from. But anyway, let's see. Andrew here for $2 says, your life has been wasted not having seen Rocky. I disagree. I've seen Spice World. And Mo here says, as a friend, Jarbo, Rocky, Creed are a must-see. It's not that I don't want to see them. I just haven't seen them. You know, it doesn't ever pop up in something. Oh, James Dean Stanton, right? He was also in there too, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Pete Postlewaite was in Alien 3. Yeah, he was a good guy. I miss him. Let's see. H Bart's here, $5, man. Thank you. Says, saw The Howling at 5 or 6, was not scared. Been watching horror since I was 3 with Hammer. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, some things are going to be like not scary, but some things are pretty freaky. Like In the Mouth of Madness scared the fuck out of me as a kid, but doesn't do it as an adult.
Well, I think it's more the creepy atmosphere of that movie, you know?
Do you read Sutter Kane? Like, fuck, dude. Or like when they're, yeah, it's a good movie.
What do you think of Deep Horizon, by the way?
What you said, Deep Rising or Deep Horizon?
Well, the space movie with Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill. Deeper is that
Event Horizon?
Oh, Event Horizon. My bad.
Because like there's Deep Rising, which was which was a horror movie that Steven Sommers wrote and directed, with like that's like on a cruise ship and like a weird alien species. Mm-hmm. Then there's also I think Deep Horizon, which was the fucking movie. It's not a shark movie. That's the fucking that's the oil rig movie with Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking Deep Blue or whatever. Deep Blue Rising, or no, Deep Blue Sea is the shark movie with Sam Jackson and LL Cool J. So
it's like, there's way too many movies with similar titles.
Yeah, there's also Deep Throat, which was a 1970s porno movie. So there you go. Learn something new every day. But Event Horizon is actually a solid fucking movie. That movie is nuts. That's from Paul W.S. Anderson, by the way, the guy who did Mortal Kombat and the Resident Evil movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That movie's fucked up, man. Like when Jason Isaacs gets like his fucking like eyes torn out and shit. Like that movie's got a lot of body horror in it. It's a good fucking movie. All right. Okay, let's see here. Moisture here says Stan Lee and Jack Kirby families deserve some kind of compensation. Disney is literally $1 billion corporation. But you see that I'm with you, but on a realistic level, Stan Lee was a member of the company, right? He was legitimately with the company. So anything he creates for the company is owned by the company. That's how these things work.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's a tough thing. I think Disney can afford to give some compensation, but I don't think they need it. I don't know.
Here's the thing with that, though. But here's the thing, though, with that. They don't want to become precedent for that going forward. Now, the precedent that they're going that the family in the termination contract, whatever, or the copyright termination, what they're going to argue is that they've already done something similar with Warner's, where they got the payout from for the Schuster estate. And so, but the Warner Brothers, they'll cuck themselves. They'll constantly cuck themselves. They don't want any trouble. You could easily run a racket on Warner Brothers and not even be worried about it. Disney doesn't care. Yeah, they got the money, but it's all about the principle. It's all about the principle of like, no, hold on. We paid for this a decade ago. All right. Like, I know they've had a couple years, like, you know, this pocket in time to make this claim. Mm-hmm. The two guys who wrote Predator tried doing the same thing. And there's nothing has come from that except they went off and made a new fucking Predator movie. Yeah. You know? So it's like, obviously, you know, like Disney's not going to lose these properties. They just spent $70 billion to get the Fox properties. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not going to lose any of this stuff. Especially on their top selling franchise. So it would be more beneficial for them in the long run to drag this thing out in court to the point of where it exhausts the resources of the people trying to seek that contract termination or the copyright termination by 2023. That's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, but I guess, but they have until 2023.
Yeah.
So, okay.
They have time. Look, if they want to be dicks, like, honestly, if it was Iger would make it go away. Iger would smooth it over. He would probably make, give him shares or something. Iger would make it a nice, he would be handled in a nice, neat little bow, is what I'm saying. Iger would do that. But when we're talking about fucking Chapek, the guy is not precise. The guy's a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
So, and he's not, and so he's not that kind of guy. Like, I just don't see him taking the surgical approach to maybe have it be a little bit painful down the road, but to get it done now versus like just let it drag out. And then, beat your enemies into the ground. So then no one else makes a claim for this shit again. That's really what it is. They will not want, and I could be wrong, but in my mind, they will not want anyone else making a claim for this kind of stuff, because as they get further down the road, those kind of claims are going to come up more often.
Well, yeah, because it's been like these properties like 60, 50 years old. It's about time something like this happened, because just how copyright laws work.
Yeah. DC here says Iger would have been cutthroat too. He just would have had better PR. That's a fair point. Very fair point. I agree.
Well, yeah, and they wouldn't also be caught in a lawsuit with one of their biggest stars ever as well, and make it look like
no, not at all. They would have absolutely been able to. They would have, Iger would have worked something out. He wouldn't have let it get this far, and that just goes to show you the management style between Chapek and Iger. But all right, let us take a quick look here. We'll just run through this, kind of talk a little bit about it. So the biggest news and trailers from the TUDUM event. You've got this. Did you watch this clip here? The fight scene between The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot?
Yeah, I did. It looked all right.
The first trailer we saw showed a lot of this fight scene.
Yeah, it's like I've already seen it,
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, all right, I've already seen it, but I can't wait to watch the movie. It looks like a lot of fun.
Looks all right.
Stranger Things 4 is
yeah, I can't wait for this.
That's going to be really good. Now, in this one, they go to the Creel house. And I saw a lot of people freaking out on Twitter about it and like, oh my God, the Creel house. Oh my God, the clock. And I'm like, I've watched Stranger Things. Like, is there a reference here I'm just not getting?
I know nothing about it. I don't know.
Oh, apparently I looked it up a little bit, and apparently like Robert Englund is playing Creel.
Oh,
and
Robert Englund's going to be in
and he had been in a mental institution since brutally murdering his family. And then he gets out, and that's going to be a thing with season 4. And then you've got.
I thought they were tackling the conspiracy of Matt Bomer and David Hopper in Russia. What the hell?
Well, I have a feeling that might all tie together.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, the house here I think is going to be a conduit into the Upside Down. That's what I think. I have a feeling. Okay, here's my take on that. Creel is going to have murdered his family because he discovered an access point into the Upside Down. He went fucking nuts.
Oh, so he's more gonna be a sympathetic character. You're saying?
Maybe. I think he's gonna be a bad guy.
He's like, he did something bad, but it's because he went crazy because the Upside Down.
Yeah, that's what I think. And plus, it's also gonna be Robert Englund in a non-Freddy role. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So I don't know, but either way, I'm looking forward to this one. This Genius, it's a documentary on Kanye West. I couldn't care. Sex Education season 4.
Okay.
I haven't seen season 1, 2, or 3.
Nope, me either.
Bridgerton gets a new season. Cool. I haven't seen the first season.
Neither have
I. But apparently it's according to this here, it could be Netflix's biggest hit to date, which isn't entirely. I mean, it was popular as fuck. Showing off here the Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman's gonna be huge.
It looked a little cheap to me. It looked a little cheap. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were like, like Neil Gaiman was like all for it, which is good. But this opening scene that they showed us here, it looked a little on the cheaper side. I could be wrong. I'll have to watch it in full context.
Maybe, I'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm excited for it. It has a lot of great storytelling potential. So
yeah. But no, I'm excited to see it because obviously it's Gaiman, and I love Gaiman. So there's that. And you got this Arcane trailer, which that looked really good. Actually, I just watched that tonight.
Yeah, and guess who's the big star of this?
Who?
Haley Steinfeld.
Oh,
yeah, she's
nice.
Voicing one of the main characters. It's coming out in November, same month as Hawkeye, and tickets in season 3.
Yeah. Oh, good. She's gonna have a good month.
A big month.
Big end of. She's only 23 too, so she's gonna have a probably best month of her life. This looked the animation on this looked really stellar to me.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of money into
And
this.
I'm
It
like,
looks great.
damn, yeah, it looks like a cutscene to a video game.
I know nothing about League of Legends, so I know nothing about the world
Yeah.
of these characters, but
Well,
I'll check it out.
they back in March they put out a fucking another animated show about League of Legends.
Was it good?
I don't know. Came out like the same day as I think it came out the same day as the Snyder Cut.
Oh, no wonder.
Or maybe Godzilla versus Kong or whatever the next week. It was like right at the end of March. There was like it was like 6 episodes from the same company that did Castlevania, but I heard no one talking about it.
Wait,
and
what?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, dude, it's Castlevania people. I gotta check it out then.
Did you see this trailer for Hellbound?
Nope.
It's a fucking okay. So it's a Korean horror series. I don't know what the fuck's going on because it's all in Korean, but basically it's like this weird fucking shadow gorilla. There's a couple of them that chasing this
shadow gorilla.
I'm calling them a shadow gorilla. I don't know their fucking name.
Okay.
Looks like a gorilla. It's clearly a fucking shadow. You know, I'm just calling it a shadow gorilla for right now. They're gonna have clearly a better name. But like they're chasing this dude through the city and he's running, he's all freaking out, and then they all tackle him and they basically just like suck his essence out and they just torch his corpse. You know, and it looks really cool. Yeah, you should check out that trailer.
Okay.
Tiger King 2.
It's gonna flop. Not gonna be as huge as the first one.
Well, the first one took 5 years to make.
Yeah, I mean, what's the update gonna be?
I don't know. They said
like respond to like what the first one did, like all the hype and just updates in the court case or whatever.
Yeah, it's all gonna be fucking.
I mean, it could be. I mean, listen, Tiger King was an amazing documentary series just because how crazy it was and the personality there. I just don't see how you make a sequel series being like overbearing or them just kind of like making fun of itself. I guess I don't know.
I have a feeling what it's going to be is it's going to be like
a deconstruction of like why Joe Exotic got so popular, I guess.
Well, maybe. I mean, Carol Baskin has like had a hell of a year since then. I know she's come out and attacked the show. When they announced it, she criticized the directors. But at the same time, like one of the guys who was in the first season, he just died.
Really?
The blonde guy who was there, like the guy with the long blonde hair. Like the real chill worker, who was the one who was like this kind of like, you know, he really cared about the cats. Like he just OD'd in New York. Or he just, I don't know if he OD'd, but he just died in like Brooklyn, like about a week or so ago. And, you know, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with Tiger King 2. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to watch it. It's, you know.
Oh, here we go.
The highlight of the show.
I really like this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. Did you say you watched the original?
I have seen an episode or two and I saw the movie, but it's been a long time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, dude, this is basically like a lot of well, it's not the exact opening credits. They did change some stuff. For example, Faye does not dance sexually, so people are probably going to complain about that.
Why are they making it so SJW and woke?
Plus, I liked how they showed a lot of the like there's some shot for shot recreations of episodes that they're doing.
Yeah,
you got a lot of the teases for some of the characters that you'll see because it's more of like Cowboy Bebop's very episodic. There's an overarching plot with Vicious and Spike, like his backstory with those two.
Yeah,
but most of the episodes are standalone, so it's gonna be a lot of standalone stories with some through line. Like episode 5 is a story episode. That's the Ballad of Fallen Angels, which they showed a recreated shot for in the opening, which looked amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: I know. Actually, you know what's funny? A lot of people are upset about this, saying that because they copied it, it like shows the remake doesn't need to exist. It's like you're not being original. I'm like,
if you weren't being original, I mean, oh my god, if they deviated, it would then be attacked for being deviated.
Yes,
for deviating, and then because Danielle Pineda is not going to be like using her her magical bouncing titties as a way to seduce the guys.
Still might. It's not like, you know,
just not traditionally like that. Yeah. She's gonna, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. I don't know. Either way, like it looks aesthetically cool, and as a non-anime fan, it looks intriguing. And so I did look at this. I wanted to see the thumbs up versus thumbs down. I wanted to see that ratio. 65 or 66,000 thumbs up, 13,000 thumbs down. So obviously the people are more in support of it than not.
Okay.
By a very large margin. So, I mean, it comes out here in a couple months.
Yeah, November 19th.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's
it and looking at it.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna be the talk of the town from the internet grifters, but you know.
Oh yeah. And then of course you've got Army of Thieves, the full trailer, which I thought looked really good.
All right, can I be honest with you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this doesn't look good, but I'll be honest. I'm not like super pumped up excited about this movie. Not to say it's gonna be bad. It's just that I personally am just like not super like I'm not counting the days for it. I'm not like, it's not something I'm gonna rush to watch. Like I'm more intrigued by the animated series they're doing in Las Vegas. That's what I'm waiting for. This is just like, okay.
Well, I have a feeling like, look, they wouldn't make it unless there was something they could do to tie into it, essentially.
Yeah, no. I'm sure I'm gonna watch it. I'm just like not super excited for it like everyone else is, I guess.
Yeah. I thought it looked like a lot of fun. I liked Dieter's character. I want to see like what exactly is going to happen with this.
Yeah, I guess my concern is like I don't like if it's a heist movie, kind of like the original Army of the Dead. It's like there's been so many other heist movies at this point. It's like, what are you going to do to distinguish yourself?
Yeah, and
like,
without having zombies in it, like I don't know. I mean, but clearly Netflix signed on to do it, and they are backing it, and they're clearly in the Zack Snyder camp, and this is
no. I think, like I said, that's great. It's just like I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, it's like okay. I'll watch it when it comes out. I'm not gonna like
I'll be on that. Did you see this trailer for Inside Job?
What the hell is this? No, I didn't.
Oh my god, it's from Alex Hirsch and Shinon Takeuchi from Gravity Falls.
Oh, well, shit.
On IMDb, he is listed as a co-creator.
Okay.
And so
this at all? Because I didn't even notice.
I just saw the trailer tonight. So this is essentially, it's an animated show about it's Conspiracy Inc. And it's or what? No, was it? Was it Conspiracy Inc.? I forget. Like I'll just. I don't want to get busted playing this here. It's it's like it just basically it's they run every conspiracy. Cognito Inc. That's what it's called. And so it's just like, the girl it runs. I fucking hate that posh shit. God damn it. But anyway, the girl who runs it, her name is like, I think, Riley something or another. And, it's all, they control every conspiracy theory out there, right? They are effectively the deep state. And so it's just her dealing with all the.
So it's gonna be like a lot of political commentary and.
Yeah, so it's an adult animated comedy series about the employees of the deep state who are tasked with keeping conspiracy theories under wraps.
Oh, okay, that could be interesting.
And it's got who is it? Oh man, she was in Masters of Sex. She was in Cloverfield. Starts with the L, I forget, but yeah, it looks pretty funny actually. So October 22nd is when that drops.
I'll check it out. I like Alex Hirsch. I like what he does. So.
Yeah, it definitely has a bit of a Gravity Falls vibe to it. You have like Don't Look Up here. This little scene from this one.
Oh yeah, from Adam McKay.
I thought the scene was good, but I felt like I know it's like Adam McKay, but I felt like the editing was like too kind of right. It just kind of went on a little bit. I didn't laugh, but I was definitely intrigued because it says here that they're trying to attempt to save the world from an impending collision with a comet. So that should be kind of funny here. Obviously, you had the Witcher season 2 clip here with the villain.
Yeah, it was weird. They had a trailer, but it was the road to season 3, so only showed a little bit of season 3 stuff, not all of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. This was a good little scene there.
I still haven't watched Witcher season 1.
You need to watch Witcher season 1. Just sit down and watch it. It's 8 episodes. The timeline runs between 3 different characters. Okay, you have Geralt, obviously, Ciri, and Yennefer, and it's really the first season is dealing with The Last Wish is the book that it's adapting. And that's the first Witcher book.
So is there like an overarching storyline, or is it more episodic?
Well, yeah, it's episodic, but it kind of like it starts building towards them coming together at the end.
Okay.
And so then you get the introduction of the characters and everything else. And then as it gets to the end, it's all converges, and then from there it ends the season. This time around, it's not going to be those kind of diverging timelines. It is going to be like, as far as I know, like one timeline, but it's following some stuff. And then they also announced another like a fucking, I think another anime movie, because Nightmare of the Wolf just came out last month. That was actually really good.
Yeah. Did you hear they're gonna make a kids and family
Yeah.
series?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Kids and families are gonna get into The Witcher.
Is it going to be like fucking Witcher babies? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Witcher babies. We
Yes,
just take,
it's gonna be exactly that.
Do you know what happens? Like when they fucking take the boys to Khal Morin and like they take them to like, to go through the process of like becoming a Witcher, like most of them die. And they don't die like by, they die brutally.
Mm.
It's like,
Listen,
fuck me.
they don't care. They want to. It's about making a property, man.
I know. But all right, so that's what's going on with all that right there. We are coming up on the 2 hour mark. I gotta be out of here in like literally a couple minutes. Let me just kind of jump through these last ones here. Andrew Dunbar for $5, man. Thank you. Says Sex Education season 4. After 3 seasons, how much can they learn? I don't know. I mean, like analingus is a thing. What?
Wow.
Okay. What? Some people are into butt stuff. Look, I don't know, people like it. Command Unit here says you need to review Major Grom Plague Doctor. If it's not too crazy, I'll try to watch it in the morning. I'll be able to actually watch some of that stuff. So, Andrew here says Tiger King 2, Carol Baskin must die. That would be kind of an appropriate name for it, I think. Because it is going to be touching upon the missing persons of the husband. That's going to be a big part of it. Rational here asking, did you guys see the behind the scenes for the Halo series? Nope.
I didn't know there was something like that.
So dude, send me that on Twitter so I can check it out tomorrow. And then all right, I think that's a good place to kind of what about Extraction 2? Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Extraction 2. Yeah. That got announced. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's that one. And then obviously Lizzie Kaplan, that's the actress name. Thank you, Lizzie Kaplan. I never saw Extraction actually.
You should watch it. It's a quick like hour and a half. It's really good.
Yeah. I hear it's really solid. I know Sam Hargrave directed it, and I know he directed Second Unit stuff in Mando season 2.
Yeah, he's always been a stunt director. This is his first like actual like directing a movie.
That's what what is it? That's what Chad Stileski and David Leitch did.
Mm-hmm. It's the exact same model. It's the exact same model that he's following. So
there we go. All right, cool. I'm not watching the Verdict trailer tonight. I got to go to bed, so it's now midnight. Thank you all very much for tuning on in. I'll get to voicemails tomorrow. I'm sorry we just got talking about everything. Thank you guys very much for the support. I really appreciate it. Please hit a like. We're at like 38 likes. Let's go 12 more. Let's get to 50. I think we can do 50. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys again. Have yourself a great evening and peace the hell out.